Hello and welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast with myself, Joshua Philippe Cool, and on the other end of the world, literally kind of round, Dave Nichols.
Hello. I was going to say, don't go into a geography thing again about
No.
across the world, over land, over sea.
As much as I am degree educated in geography, I will not bore you with that because you don't learn about places. In as much to people's dismay, whenever you say you've got a geography degree, you go, "Oh, what's the capital of?" And in countries is through football. Like flag knowledge comes through the early Pro Evos where you picked your countries and it was all the flags. Like cities come from like I don't know, football managers like, "Oh, where's Tel Aviv?" Well, I'm pretty sure. Or like Haifa. I've never heard of Maccabi Haifa. Well, that's they're obviously Israeli, and it's just the things like that. Football has taught me more about places than my geography degree did.
Nice.
Yeah. What about your knowledge? You got good place knowledge?
I think I've got very good flag knowledge from Pro Evo.
Good flag? Yeah.
I think I'm good at flag knowledge. Place knowledge, I'm quite good at locating things that I know where, like, sort of roughly know where they are. But,
do you mean like around the house, or
on a world map? No, I'm rubbish around the house. But I'm terrible at directions.
Oh, what your sense of direction? Yeah, I get lost very quickly. I'm like, oh, it's that way. It's like, well, I'm just going to trust the old sat nav here because I don't really trust myself. No.
And dates. I'm really bad at remembering dates. So Kate will be like, well, we went there 2 years ago. I'll be like, no. It was like 5 years ago that.
I completely agree. Time flies too fast. I'll always under-egg it. I'm like, it's nothing. It's like, oh my goodness, time has flown by. Yeah, I agree. And it has to coincide somewhere. I always go to a point in time like, well, was it before or after I was married? Before or after I had children? Before or after uni? So I got those. But the problem is, from uni to marriage, there was like how many years? So I've got this big void where I'm like, just stuff happened in that time. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not talking about our lives, Josh, are we? So
no, let's talk about some football news. It's been a week. It's been a week where things are getting wrapped up. Things are getting decided. It's all coming to a head, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels too quick.
It's going to feel too quick because like there's game after game, and it's just like But one thing got wrapped up, Man City's European ban. That got wrapped up and chucked in the bin because they are free to play in Europe and have even their fine got reduced.
Well, yeah, so I was reading into it. The fine is actually something completely different now. So the whole ban got chucked out. The whole ban was found to be lack of evidence, and then they got a 10 million fine for not cooperating with UEFA originally. So, yeah, so the actual, because that's what I said when it happened. I tweeted out, and I was like, I think I tweeted out, or I spoke to some people, and I said, I'm so bad on Twitter.
Tweeted in the real world.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't, because I was like, how can you say there's not enough evidence but then still fine them? So I did a bit more reading into it, and it was a case that there was the CAS said there was no foundation for the actual ban and the original fine, but then they're going to fine them again for not cooperating with UEFA originally. So, what are your thoughts? Is it again you can get in money troubles and then have enough money to buy yourself out of it because you just get the best lawyers?
Massively, that's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, it's probably like I'd love to see the offices. I mean, it's not like UEFA are kind of poor, but would they have wanted to man up and lawyer up as much as City? Because I think there's a quote from one of the City owners saying like, I would rather spend 50 million on the best lawyers and tackle this rather than give UEFA a penny. And the fact is, I mean, it amounts to like 100 millions of revenue. Like they'd have lost hundreds of millions because of this. They'd have lost players because of this. So yeah, they would have lawyered up to the hilt. And so it does make me question now. It sets a precedent, I suppose, in terms of with big clubs being able to get out of it. It doesn't. I mean, Jose Mourinho's been pretty kind of just open about it. It's a disgrace.
Yeah.
Some clubs can just, and even afterwards, I mean, it's paper talk, but you love the fact that afterwards, I mean, literally, like, as soon as it's done, like the gossip columns of Man City transfers and even the Chelsea ones took a little bit of an uptick, didn't they? Like, right, well, they're spending some money now. Let's link as many players as we can.
Yeah. I mean, I found it all very strange that it was. I mean, I don't know if you saw there was an interview with Gary Neville that was like, he was basically saying they haven't implemented FFP correctly because you shouldn't be able to, obviously he owns Salford, but he was saying like, you shouldn't be able to stop the owners investing whatever money they like because it's their money at the end of the day, and that the club itself can't control who it gets bought out by. If there's an offer they can't refuse, it doesn't matter whether it's a shake. And that's what he was basically saying. You need to improve the fit and proper persons test, not FFP.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, mate, we lost you there. Start that sentence again.
I've become to accept it as part of football that the league can be bought. I mean, Man United obviously have a lot of money. They kind of generated it, but they started off with a lot of investment. The City have bought the league, Chelsea have bought the league, and I've become going to accept that. What I can't accept is when clubs get run into the ground and owners. It's similar. Man United kind of got both going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when you got like Wigan, for example, the situation we've got there. I mean, they managed to beat Hull 8-0 this week, which is amazing. Seeing as what's going on behind the scenes there, but yeah, I'm probably more inclined to want that element tackled rather than the buying of leagues, because ultimately I just kind of go. So what? It's just there's always going to be people wanting to put money into football, and so they're just going to be delayed and take a longer doing it by finding loopholes. But you don't there's very few ways out when a club gets run into the ground, and that's more upsetting for fans of that club.
Yeah.
Because Hull fans, Blackpool fans, Wigan fans, Bury fans, things like that. They've had. It's much worse if you lose your club. It's annoying for other fans of not that club when you can see them buying the league, but at the same time, I think we'd all secretly like our side to do it, and maybe it wouldn't be great after the event, but it'd be somewhat enjoyable during. And it's nice. I don't mind seeing like a PSG kind of buying hundreds of £1,000,000 on players, spending that much on players. It's kind of like football games come to life, and I'd much rather that than seeing clubs disappear into the ether.
Definitely. I mean, if you the Newcastle situation, I think is obviously they just basically want Mike Ashley out, and I don't think they're really too fussed about who buys it as long as they're going to invest some money. But even if it wasn't Mike Ashley there, I still think they would take the Saudi Arabian deal because of the money it would bring in. I think that's what most football fans would do. I would love to be bought out and get rid of the Glaziers and let the Glaziers sell the club for $1 billion to Abu Dhabi and go that way and just because I want to get rid of the Glazers. But yeah, it's just life as it is in football. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let's move on. We've got a question.
We've got some other things that have been round up. So we've got some sides, some teams in white we can talk about. We've got Leeds promoted. Done.
Yeah. Well done, Leeds.
Lovely to see you back. Yeah. Well done, Leeds. We put a little poll out about their thoughts for kind of how it's going to be next year, and what did you kind of like? Because obviously they can do kind of Wolves. They can do Huddersfield and stay up for 1 year and go down. What are your kind of thoughts on what that would take?
I think they will. I think they'll stay up. I think they'll stay up because they've got a good manager. If they keep Marco Bielsa for the season, I think they'll stay up. Yeah, but I think it won't be like a Sheffield United this season or something, or it won't be like a Wolves in their first season. It'll be tough. But I think they'll be all right. I think they'll. Was it Blackpool that absolutely started their season in the Premier League on fire?
Yeah, they beat. It might have been Wigan actually, 4-0 home away.
So I think Leeds will do something a bit similar to that. I think Leeds will go firing all cylinders. They'll all be pumped up after pre-season. Bielsa, he favours that pressing game and lots of good work ethic and stuff, and then they'll die out a bit towards the end of the season, have a bit of a resurgence and stay up.
They don't really rotate players. Bielsa seems to. I remember throughout his sides he's managed, he keeps it kind of intensity and the group very small. Remember that Bilbao side, I think beat United in the Europa League. That was just kind of like a well worked side. I mean, in Leeds you can see they're absolutely just puffing, blowing out their whatever's at this point in time. So yeah, I can see that we'll have a good first half of the season. They'll just probably maybe like a little bit of Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace had a decent first half, and they've managed to save themselves from relegation this year by 4 games before the restart, and they've just really dragged themselves through. But But in terms of the poll, 39% thought they'd be relegated.
Oh no, I was surprised by that. Really surprised. I thought more people would think they'd stay up, but I don't know if it's the tactical thing of running out of energy, and the Premier League's going to be a slightly different battle, and everything like that. But
the problem I have is that Bielsa's not beyond he's got the capacity to go. You know what? No, I'm done. I'm out. And like the day before the season, like Martin O'Neill did a few years back, it's like that still would be lingering in my head. I think he did that with Marseille. He's kind of went, I'm done.
Yeah, he did.
And so I think he's key, obviously, to keeping them up and ensuring they have a successful season. I'm not sure. Maybe strange things happen. Maybe Pochettino would take over. 6 months in, and Bielsa goes. Pochettino comes in his understudy. That'd be fascinating. But I'm happy to see them back. It'd be interesting to see if any ex-Leeds players, when James Milner's contract's up, Danny Rose wants out. See if any of those.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So,
Lennon. Yeah.
It would be interesting. It would be very interesting. But so we've got a quick question. It was actually on FFP. What do we think just happens with FFP now? Is it just get scrapped? Are they still going to keep it in place, or?
No, they can't scrap it. They'll have to just adapt it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, they just have. It will be sides will be punished. Maybe it won't change, and it'll just continue blindly just raking in fine money from smaller clubs. But it won't be scrapped completely, because that would be admitting to be. Maybe it will be scrapped for a time and to be come back as something different. But yeah, it will something like that will still be in place.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Another team in white, obviously La Liga. We have Real Madrid winning La Liga, beating Barcelona, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, Zidane just keeps on winning stuff.
With the old Gareth Bale.
Yeah, Gareth Bale. He's just turned into a bit of an arse, actually.
He has, but
on the face of it.
Yeah, it is. But it's good that Madrid have done well. Zidane's come in, and all the players are praising him, saying he's not actually it might have been Sergio Ramos that came out and said he's not the best tactician, but he's such a good motivator that he just gets everyone up for every game and can do the right things at the right time, but not necessarily tactically, which is interesting. So
I am fascinated to see these rebuilds. Obviously, Real Madrid's rebuild has been in process, but they're still heavily reliant. Like their midfield three is still the same midfield three that's won everything, isn't it? Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric. Still centre back. You still got Varane and Ramos. Varane's still actually quite young, absurdly. They've kind of refreshed a little bit this year, but you're still relying on Benzema. But I mean, Barcelona's rebuild is just going to be epic, or it's going to be nothing, and it's going to be. Years of Man United hurt, it will be similar to that, won't it?
I think Barcelona could be in for that, because they've just swapped Arthur for Pjanic, haven't they, from Juventus? That's not really a rebuild. That's bringing in a 29-year-old and getting rid of a 23-year-old, I think.
Yeah, that's all FFP as well. That is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that just points to the money trouble, because they've made so many bad deals. Like they've signed just some absolute dross, and for hundreds of millions. Like
how much?
Ousmane Dembele and Philippe Coutinho really have not been successes that people would have hoped they would be.
How much did they pay for Paulinho from China?
Who was actually strangely not one of their worst buys. I mean, which is saying something. I think it was in the 60, 70 million or something, which is just
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he was an absolute flop at Spurs, and then that happened. It blew my mind.
Yeah. But I mean, well done Real Madrid as well. But we're in that phase now where titles are getting wrapped up. So
yeah, and obviously Wycombe Wanderers in the Championship. Akin Fenwell will be in the Championship, bossing it.
It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be. I can't believe Wycombe are there, managed by Gareth Ainsworth. Obviously, who started off. He did well at Portsmouth when he was there, and got poached by someone else, and then went to Wycombe and has done well. I think Akin Fenwell had was it 15 or 16 goal contributions in the league? So
15 or 16 goal contributions in the league.
So not. I mean, because he was obviously out of contract, wasn't he? And he's getting promoted for the first time. His first time in the Championship, I think it is. So yeah, it'd be fascinating. Yeah. All right, should we move on to a little bit of a quiz? Unless you have any other news.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, let's move on. Let's go to the quiz.
Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time. Right, so David of Nichols.
Yes.
How is your knowledge on Premier League stadia? But not just stadia, the stands that are within.
Absolutely dreadful.
Absolutely dreadful. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear you floundering at the other end of the phone line at these times. So,
Yeah.
yes, I have made a list of all. I've taken one of the stands. Obviously, there's normally 4, sometimes more because they name a little corner. Of the stands for each of the Premier League teams and listed them out, and you've got to name the team that has this stand in their stadium. I've eliminated 2. Eagle-eyed listeners, viewers would notice that there's a list of 18 here. That is because Brighton very uniquely call theirs North, South and East, West stand, and Spurs currently have no name for them. I presume they'll be tying to some. There's got to be some announcement around some naming rights at some point. We need that revenue in this kind of this fallow period with lack of fans.
The Harry Kane stand.
Harry Kane stand. 200 goals now for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Oh, it is. Yeah. I was about to make a joke, but that Christian Eriksen one makes it 199, but he scored 201, hasn't he? Right, Dave.
Right then.
It's up on screen. Save your C.
Okay. Stand name: the Itchen stand. I'm off to a cracking start. Don't know that one.
Okay, we'll go through first of all. Run through them.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you know them, say them, and then we'll be left with, and I can clue you up.
Okay. So I'll go to the Aviva community stand, which purely because it says Aviva, I'm going to guess that is Norwich City.
Oh, look at him go! And that is one of the ones which is a little corner bit, corner bit up.
Interesting. Bobby Moore is obviously West Ham.
Oh, obviously. Although there's a bit of history of West Ham not kind of appreciating Bobby Moore, wasn't there? I think.
Really? That's all they bang
I
on
think
about.
there's a bit of time. Yeah, I think they do now. But I think there was a bit of time where he was not exactly like they didn't have the stand named after him. He was a bit of a not black sheep. But I think there was a bit of time where I didn't appreciate him. Yeah.
Right, now the clock end. There's lots of clock ends in football.
Are there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it's the Emirates because I know Highbury had a very famous clock end, and I think they moved it. Yeah, there we go.
Nice, cut. 75% so far, Dave.
The Colin Bell stand.
Why didn't they call it the Colin Bell end? I don't know.
Yeah. The Colin Bell stand.
Oh, come on, man.
Who's
This
Colin- Colin Bell. Who did Colin Bell play for? Southampton? No.
No, we'll leave that one there then.
Yeah, leave that on. The Family stand. That's very vague.
Yeah, but I think of this club as always over the last few years has had a history of being very good at kind of
like
family orientated and giving things away and
Leicester.
Oh, gets it.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Nice. I'll take that. The Gallowgate Gallowgate stand is Newcastle.
Yeah, Dave, you're impressing me here,
Yeah,
mate.
I'm impressing myself here. The Gladys Street is Everton.
Oh my goodness.
The whole end is Aston Villa because I've been in it.
Oh, no to boast. What was it like?
Pretty loud, to be honest.
Yeah,
pretty loud.
Yeah. What's the loudest stand you've been in?
Do you know what? Annoyingly, it probably is the Cop at Anfield. The loudest stand I've been in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the Stretford end on the European night was very, very
Oh God, don't give me that.
good. So,
We've all heard it on TV, mate.
where do I get to? The Jimmy McElroy stand. No idea.
Okay.
John Street stand. No idea. The Shed End. I really should know this.
Yeah, you come on. Yeah, that one's a big one.
Yeah. The Shed End. I'll come back to it. It's not coming to me.
Okay.
The Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Man United.
Oh, what gave it away?
The Sir Elton John stand. Watford.
Knows his sirs.
The Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. Now, yeah, if Blackburn were in the Premiership, there would be a tough decision to make. But I'm going to go Liverpool because you said it's Premier League teams only.
Correct.
Steve Bull stand. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yes.
This one couldn't be more Bournemouth if it tried. The Vitality Steve Fletcher stand.
Yeah, I wonder how Vitality and Steve Fletcher feel about that. Like, come on, just pick your battles there.
Yeah, 50-50 naming rights.
Yeah.
And then the White Horse Lane Stand. That stinks of Spurs, but it's not, is it? Because you said Spurs don't have any naming rights.
Correct. Yeah, don't have any names of that.
I'll go with Sheffield United.
No. So currently you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, and your clubs you've got left. Just so you know, you've got Burnley, Sheffield United, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Man City, and Southampton.
Oh, is Crystal Palace is Chelsea the shed end?
Chelsea is the shed end.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Well,
Awesome.
We'll come back round to that. That's Dave.
I'm impressed.
Honestly, I showed you that. I thought, oh god, I want to see Dave cry on camera. He's gonna absolutely fail epically there, but did all right.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself there. I'm proud of myself. So shows I do pay attention during commentary at sometimes.
Yes,
because that's the only time Stan's in.
Yeah, I do. Do you know what annoys me? It takes. I mean, I have to go on Twitter to find out who the co-commentator is. If you miss the start of a match,
yeah,
you kind of like who's this, and then you got to you try and piece it together. Sometimes I mention, well, you were obviously a midfielder in the Premier League. What do you think? Okay, right, I'm a midfielder in the Premier League, and it's just sometimes I feel like that. I want to know that more, and so there's probably some surprising names you don't realise do co-commentary.
Give me a surprising name that you didn't realise did co-commentary.
Efanakoku.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, didn't know that. But on Josh, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking of Efanakoku, he played football. Let's review some football matches.
Tenuous.
Yes, he played for neither of these sides. We'll start off with the Sol Campbell derby.
Arsenal Tottenham?
No, Newcastle Spurs.
Oh, Newcastle?
Yeah.
When did he play at Newcastle?
Oh, have I completely had a mare?
He played at blooming Notts County.
Oh, you think I got my shirts mixed up? No, he played Newcastle. Sure.
Did he?
Yeah. So his career goes Spurs, obviously. Then it goes
Arsenal.
Then it goes
Notts County.
No, Portsmouth. Remember he had that Portsmouth stint.
Oh yeah.
Then it goes 1 appearance for Notts County, back to Arsenal for 11 appearances, then to Newcastle for 7 appearances.
Do you know what? I didn't even realise he'd gone back to Arsenal after Notts County.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Strange one. Yeah, played 7 times in the Premier League. 11 times in the Premier League in the 9-10 season.
It's amazing what you learn, isn't it, on this podcast?
Every day's a school day. So he had, yeah. I mean, they brought in, same season they brought in Thomas Vermaelen.
Ooh. Talking of Barcelona wasting money. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, who are we starting with then?
He's now in Japan, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Newcastle Spurs.
Newcastle Spurs. Oh, God, was I surprised by this. I've lost so much money in gambling since the restart because the amount of times I put money on Spurs to lose. And it hasn't happened that much, Dave. It hasn't happened. 14 points from 7 games. It's actually been alright. Points-wise.
Yeah, points-wise.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I mean, full disclosure, we obviously mentioned the North London derby before this, which Spurs won. I purposely missed it because I was like, because I remember I had that I kind of avoided football for a month, didn't I, earlier in the season, which was so bad. And I thought, you know what, I was socially distancing, meet up with friends. I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to make an effort here, and I avoided it. And I was like, oh, we won. I did return for this match, but it was all right. As we mentioned earlier, Kane gets 200 goals. Somehow Mourinho had never won at St James's Park, and Spurs are the team to do that, rather than his title-winning Chelsea and second finishing United. It's probably 6th or 7th finishing Spurs. I mean, the fact we won away. I mean, we've beaten 4 teams away in the league this year. West Ham, Villa, Wolves, Newcastle.
Okay, Wolves is a good win away.
Yeah, that was the last minute Jan Vertonghen little header, I think.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. So
that was that early Mourinho. That was early Mourinho. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, all of those Mourinho.
How do you feel about this?
As soon as we win a game day, the hope bars go, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Ugly, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna be a bunch of C-nuts.
Well, that's what Jose wants, isn't it? If you've seen the,
That's what he wants. Yeah.
If you saw that leaked thing that I tweeted to you on Football Talk, yeah.
Yeah.
The look on Christian Eriksen's face.
Yeah, I'm not sure Christian Eriksen. I've got a feeling he'll be kind of painted as the want-away villain, similar to in Sunderland Till I Die. We have what's his name?
Rodwell.
No, the young guy who wants to go, who's not signing his new contract.
Oh, moved to Bordeaux. What is his name? Josh.
Not Gaia.
It's.
Maya.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Maya.
Yeah, it's something like that. Josh Meyer. Yeah, Josh Meyer.
Maya. Oh,
Maja. Yeah. But oh,
well, he's gone. There's even talk. Talk of Conte wanting him to stay around.
Really?
Yeah. He said something like, Conte's like, I pick players. I look at players from their neck down. I'm like, all right. Basically, he doesn't pick players based on their reputation, and it doesn't seem like Christian Eriksen had the greatest time of it in Milan so far.
No, yeah. But so what do you think about? Well, I guess let's talk about Harry Kane first. 200.
Harry Kane.
Club goals.
I thought he was broken, and this was actually. I think maybe with the Spurs are a little bit broken, and he'll be fixed when it comes back because scoring 2 goals, not getting injured. I'm somewhat hopeful. And he's just there. A lovely first goal. I mean, that's just so simple, isn't it? Just a lovely deep cross from Bergwijn. Great header back straight across the keeper. Dubravka's hair annoys me. Just a little shout out to Dubravka's hair.
Okay.
Annoys me a little bit, just so you know my thoughts on Dubravka's hair. Decent keeper though.
Yeah.
But yeah, lovely header. Shout out to Alan St. Maximin as well, by the way. What a ridiculous player.
What a player. Love him. Yeah.
Imagine him and Adama Traore on the wings.
Oh, beautiful.
Who would, because they're quite unique players, quite kind of mercurial talents on the wings. Who would be the kind of number 10 and the number 9, which would kind of complement that as equally kind of. I feel like Mesut Ozil should be in the number 10 role, just to be kind of like just feeding that. But who would you put as the striker and kind of attacking midfielder to complement those mercurial talents?
Striker wise, I think you just need a poacher, because they'll cut in and they'll shoot and they'll put low crosses in. They won't really. I've never
You're
really
talking like a Bas Dost type role, where the one touch finishes each time. And
yeah, like maybe a Jamie Vardy. I think he'd probably feed off quite well off it. Yeah, Bas Dost would be a good one because he's quite tall as well. So if they do put crosses in, Raul Jimenez. There you go.
Raul Jimenez scored a lovely little volley, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought he would have scored, because I think him and Kane are level on goals in the league now. I just would have thought he would have scored more. Every time I seem to see Wolves there, like Raul Jimenez or Diego Jota are scoring, but I just know he's a little bit lower on the goals tally than I thought he was.
Yeah. Wolves generally don't score that many.
It's because they don't concede.
Yeah.
Any, really.
They're up in. Yeah. Well, there you go. You and Wolves have got the same goal difference on 11, and you're in 6th and 7th.
Yeah, it's flipped away. We've scored 11 more. They conceded 11 less, I think.
Yeah. So.
All the way.
But so Harry Kane's 200 goals, 174 from inside the box, 27 outside the box, 42 with his left foot, 121 with his right foot, 37 headers. I thought he'd have more than that, but 37 headers. One other. That's Christian Eriksen, where he didn't touch him.
Little shoulder.
Yeah, 26 penalties and 1 direct free kick. None from a corner. None direct from a corner. So I don't know why he took them for England.
So. Like, do you remember the Macedonia player who scored direct from a corner against Seaman?
Yeah.
Do you remember his name? Is it Artem Saki or something like that? Artem. Yeah, but the interesting stat there, obviously, he scores a lot of penalties, but he scored more goals from outside the box than he has done penalties, which I think is quite a nice stat there. He scores all types of goals.
He does.
He's a fantastic player. He is, and it was posed on Twitter this morning. I saw it. Would you sell Kane if you knew you were going to achieve what Liverpool have achieved after selling Coutinho?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I agree. I'm not against selling Kane. The way that it's happened over the last 18 months, where we've seen our best talent kind of either crumble and be sold to China, or potentially leave on freeze with Vertonghen, leaving for reduced values with Christian Eriksen. I think there's a certain mastery in it, being able to sell your talent at its peak and replace it well. Yeah. And I don't think you should be against that as a club, because as much as it'd be great if you could keep those players, they could win the league with you. But ultimately, if you think it's not going to go that way, you need to cash in on it.
Well, do you think Kane would play for another Premier League club, or do you think he'd go abroad?
I think he'd be reluctant to. I think he's aiming for like the highest heights. I think he'd be aiming for Real Madrid if he was to go anywhere.
Is that the highest heights anymore, Real Madrid?
Outside of England, yeah. The highest heights, damn, they won the La Liga. They've won like 3 of the last 4 Champions Leagues. It's a pretty high height.
That's a pretty high height, yeah. That's pretty high height.
Yeah.
But yeah, fair enough.
I'd say that, say Pochettino gets a Real Madrid job in 18 months' time, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, but at the same time, I'd be proud. Like, I was happy for Gareth Bale to go to Real Madrid, because it's like, I know how good he can be. He deserves to be. We're not at that stage. He deserves it. Same with Modric. But I have a real problem with them going to another Premier League club.
Yeah, but you're at a different point in Tottenham's life now. You're Champions League. You are generally a Champions League.
There's always going to be a difference in players' minds.
Okay, fair enough.
They're always going to achieve that. Real Madrid can challenge for the Champions League and the title every single year. We might challenge for it once and might challenge for the league.
Yeah,
make some pressure on.
Okay, interesting. Jim's given you a message, by the way. Would you take Bale back at Spurs? I assume it's James Carver, because I don't know any other James Carvers, and he's messaged in the group, but in the chat. So,
as long as it didn't mean that it was sack, I would be concerned about the financial implications of the deal. Like if that stopped us getting some young up and comer, but I do love Gareth Bale greatly, so I would have happily taken him back. Yes.
I think if it's Madrid pay 60% of his wages and you get him on loan or something, then
yeah. I'd take him back, because it would be just great to see him back. He'll soon be kind of stop being the player that he once was. He's already creaking, isn't he?
Well, no one really knows how good he is anymore, because he hasn't played for so long.
Yeah, it's not been his greatest season, is it?
No, but okay, moving on. What's the next game, Josh?
Let's go to the Fraser Campbell derby. Shall we quickly have a look at Crystal Palace and Man United? Obviously, Man United in the chase for top 4 now, not top 5.
Yeah.
And so, when was the last time United was involved in such a meaningful kind of, probably going to be last final day?
I cannot. Well, shut up. Yeah, fuck. Every time you get me with that, I hate you. Yes, thank you. Yes, you're an idiot.
Oh, set that up, Dave.
You did, because I even went. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it would have been. Oh,
if we rewind, we can literally pinpoint the moment your heart breaks.
You bastard. You get.
Oh,
I'm struggling to keep this child-friendly podcast at the moment.
I would like to give a shout out, and it's a bit unfortunate because it might not happen now, but if this all was happening in a normal season, I think Martial would be in a shout for the French squad and Euro 2020, wouldn't he?
I think he should be. with this form. Yeah, if it hadn't
been, but it doesn't really matter because Giroud was playing as the defensive false 9 in the World Cup. Griezmann will probably still get in, even though he's had a shocker. Martial's got. What do you reckon Martial's French stats are? I looked last night. What do you reckon they are?
I don't know. I'd say probably around about. Well, he's not played very much for them. 20 games and 8 goals.
Oh, you're all right on appearances. 18 appearances, 1 goal.
1 goal. I wonder if he's been farmed out on the left-hand side a lot for him.
Oh, Dave, he's not up to it. He's not up to a challenge.
He's a quality striker.
Yeah, France have just got an absurd amount of talent. But he's playing well. Rashford's playing well. Matic again, doing well.
Resurgent under Solskjaer, Matic. Yeah, he's got players around him that it doesn't matter about his lack of mobility now. He doesn't need to do anything else other than win the ball back and pass it to someone better. Like you said, the Wilson Palacios role for Man United. Yeah, and he's looking very, very good. It's just a shame that then we, conceded a last-minute goal against Who did we play?
Southampton.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? In January, you probably wouldn't have thought we're anywhere near top 4. So it's been a very good. Solskjaer's proven he can do the job, which is a surprise to me. I thought he would have been scrambling around for top 6, maybe 6th or 5th, and it's great. I'm really enjoying it. The football's great. It's attacking. We're getting the ball forward quickly. It's really good to see it. I mean,
the problem is though, you are playing like the same 11. You've had like 4 of the last 5 games. You played like the same 11. That's not going to work for a season, is it?
No, it's not, and I think that's very much come to fruition where we unluckily got both left backs injured in the same game against Southampton, and then we played Timothy Fosu-Mensah for the first time in 3 years. That's his first Man United appearance in 3 years.
Is there any part of that because he used to play for Palace for a bit, and they were like, "Oh, this, go on."
I don't know. I think I would have preferred one of the youth left backs to come through, who apparently we're absolutely stacked in good left backs at United. So, but I'm never confident of putting someone who's just because they're a defender, so put them out to the left back, especially if they're right-footed. I'd prefer to have someone who's a bit more comfortable playing there. But he did all right. He was a bit rubbish, but he did all right. We won 2-0. I mean, we've been pretty lucky with VAR. Well, no. We haven't been lucky with VAR. You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what words you're going to use here, Dave.
Yeah. We haven't been lucky with VAR.
Do you have self-awareness to realise...
VAR has got... Goals we've conceded have been ruled out correctly by VAR because they've been like offside or something like that. It's been very close. We've been lucky with VAR in terms of our attacking decisions with penalties and things like that, because that Bruno Fernandes one was never a penalty previously. I think... Yeah, we've had it. It's been...
Zaha won in this match?
Yeah, well, everyone keeps saying it was a Harry Maguire incident. The only one I can think of is Victor Lindelof.
It's Victor Lindelof, wasn't it?
That's what I thought. And I was like, I think Victor Lindelof actually gets the ball first. In super slow-mo, I think he gets the ball first.
He wipes him out, Dave. He completely cleans him out.
Can
I just
the other end and score.
Say on behalf of all non-Man United fans, it's a bit upsetting to see Man United getting back to their best. It's been really enjoyable these last however many years where Man United have been kind of
floundering.
Yeah, the post-Ferguson era, it seems like it could be coming to an end. But yeah, if that is the case, I've enjoyed it while it lasted. But I would say that all sides this year, you look at that top 6 of all sides have had periods of really, really poor seasons. So we can't just extrapolate this and expect it to be a season, can we?
No.
We've had Chelsea having a shocking period. You obviously had a shocking period. Spurs have had a shocking season, and all of it. And it is about that consistency and getting there. And obviously, if your only aim is top 4, then you can afford to do that. But if your aim is winning titles, then the consistency that Liverpool showed is because it's the mentality side of things, because they're floundering now. They've won like 4 of the last 13 games or something, aren't they?
They're flip-flops on, aren't they? Flip-flops on the beach with a Premier League trophy.
Next year? They've won the league. Are they going to want it as much next year? They've won the Champions League. Are they going to want it as much next year? It's going to be interesting to see where their mentality's at.
It will, and with the fact of Man City will invest and probably get stronger.
They it back, so it's always, as they always say, it's harder to retain. Because you have angered the beasts of other sides, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. But okay, right, we've got a couple of questions. Do you like Bernard at Everton?
No.
That was a bit of a random question from Reese, but we've answered it.
No, he I don't think he'll ever be. He's good on the ball. He's quite a tidy little player. Can have moments of magic. He's had some lovely little goals and moments of season, but I do like him. But he's never going to be your starting player grabbing you. We've had lucky this season. Like Spurs have got Son, 10 goals, 10 assists. That's kind of like the peak what you want from your inverted winger. You're contributing goals, contributing assists. I don't see Bernard ever getting anywhere near those stats, and Everton should be aiming for someone getting those kind of stats. And he's okay, but I don't think he's outstanding. I think he's always going to be that level.
Yeah, fair enough. And then looking at current form and the fact managers like Ancelotti and Mourinho would have had some sort of summer transfer, who are going to be challenging Liverpool and City next season? Chelsea and Man United.
Honestly, honestly, it's difficult because obviously, I mean, we have obviously had the announcement of the transfer window.
Yeah.
Opens up next Monday, is it? Open up and then it seems like the way it looks at the season will be starting kind of mid-September, and when the transfer window closes, because we're not closing before the season, we will close like kind of early October.
October, yeah.
And I don't know. I personally, I think City will run away with it again.
Yeah.
No, that seems to be my prediction every year. But as I mentioned there, Liverpool's mentality just won't be there. And this is a bit of a strange comment, but Virgil van Dijk has got a bit of a history of switching off. Like when he wanted out from Southampton, he had not a care in the world. He was subpar. He was just turning in a performance which was just kind of average. And he's obviously got to. He's not a young man. He's what, 27, 28?
28,
and
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and this is quite a late moment in his life getting this. I don't know. He's obviously fantastic, but I do question a little bit without that drive of Klopp driving them forward and what they will achieve. I just think they might just fall back away.
Do you think Do you think Van Dijk's a bit of a Premier League tick done? Next La Liga.
He might need that big thing to motivate him. He's now become the main man. He's now won what he needs to win. They've won everything. I mean, unless they care about FA Cup and League Cup. I just know. I just got a feeling that he won't. He'll still be able to turn in performances, and if Liverpool dominate, and it'll be less on him. But obviously, we saw him make a mistake against Arsenal. I don't know. I just think that maybe it's been a very brief window of him being the best, isn't it? You see, You look back in history when you talk about your Nestas, your Maldinis, your Cannavaros, your Stams, your Ledley Kings. You've got a period of
chuck that in there, yeah.
Yeah, you got a prolonged period of them being the best, winning repeated titles, and I'm not saying Van Dijk's not a phenomenon. That can be absolutely great, but I don't know. It's got to be over a longer period of time. Like we're praising Man United's performance now. It's got to be over a whole season. And Van Dijk obviously don't over a whole season, but you can do it 4 or 5 years continued. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But in terms of challenging I think it'd be challenging Man City for title. I think it'd be the same people, but I think that Man City just have far too much.
I know I get slated a bit from yourself and from Ross, who asked the question about my Mourinho dislike and hatred, for want of a better word. I see it similar to yours hatred of Troy Deeney, I think is what I see it as. But I can't see Tottenham getting anywhere near a challenge for a title under Mourinho because he doesn't play progressive football. I
can't see it because we just I would have thought differently if we had stadiums filled and we were getting the money in and he'd have money to spend, because he knows what players he needs, and he's going to have to get maybe the number 3 on the list instead of your number 1 choice. And whether that, I'm sure in the best will in the world, he doesn't want Højbjerg as his holding midfielder. That's just what he can get.
Well, he wants Matic.
Yeah, and I just think that maybe I'll be amazed if we challenge for a title. I think we'll challenge for something. And there'll be some silverware, but challenge for a title takes a lot of resources. I mean, the talk is stadiums back being filled in October. I'm sure it'll be different. Maybe beforehand, they want people in that stadium quickly. Maybe there'll be some social distance there, so maybe the whole revenue won't be back. But in terms of getting the money back in for Spurs to have the money to then challenge, I can't see it myself. Yeah, title challenge would be amazing if it would happen, but I would say it's more kind of solidify a kind of top 6 challenge, similar to this season really, because all the other sides are going to be there or thereabouts, and maybe a Europa League if we get there, and a domestic cup. I
mean, we've gone on a bit of a tangent, but I think it's going to be very interesting for our predictions that we have to do in 6 weeks for the start of the new season or something, 6 or 7 weeks. So that'll be very interesting because I think Everton and Wolves are going to be very hard to sort of separate.
You expect upticks from Everton because Ancelotti having a year and buying some more players he likes, because there's a lot of players there which aren't Ancelotti players, so that'd be impressive. And they've always, over the last few years, have spent the money required. So with Ancelotti at the helm, more hopeful, I suppose. But I can't. Everton are just Everton, and they'd always be Everton in 8th, whatever it is.
Yeah, fair enough. So, okay. We were talking about football matches. Do you want to do another?
Yeah, let's quickly run through. Let's go for the John Harley derby. So West Ham, Watford seemed like a real tight match. Seemed like it was, obviously a relegation battle decider. That all ended after about 10 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah.
And West Ham were 2-0 up, soon to be 3-0 up, with Declan Rice whipping in a beauty.
Right.
No?
It was no. It was a good goal. I'm not saying it wasn't a good goal. You know how I thought Ben Foster was a good goalkeeper? What was he doing?
He had a bit of a bad match. Like the Antonio goal, he gets caught out by in no man's land and the ball goes under him.
Yeah.
Couldn't really do much about the Souček header. But yeah, that one, he just doesn't move. I don't know why he thinks maybe he thinks that Declan Rice will be crossing it, but he's obviously lining up for a shot. Maybe it's unexpected. Yeah.
Maybe he's listened to the podcast, Josh, and he thought, well, I don't want to touch it because it'll ruin the aesthetics of the goal.
Yeah, I would much rather keepers did that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was. Well, that's West Ham safe, innit?
Pretty much. It's goal difference now. They're like 10 goal swing or something, even more than that, I think. 15 goal swing. Watford only have the small matter of Man City and Arsenal to go.
Well, West Ham have got.
No, Watford have Man City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
West Ham have. I can't remember.
I can't remember who West Ham have got, but West Ham also have a 6-point lead over Bournemouth now.
Yeah, so it's just the goal difference that would go down, isn't it?
Yeah. And Bournemouth aren't going to win.
Man United and Aston Villa, West Ham have.
Yeah, okay. Bournemouth aren't going to win.
I'd be amazed if Bournemouth stay up.
Yes.
Yeah, so. I'd like to see it now. I honestly thought that West Ham would collapse after the Troy Deeney goal. So, well done to them. I imagine most West Ham fans thought the same. With Watford, I mean, next season, if they start, they're probably going to sack Pearson anyway because they love sacking a manager.
Yeah. I mean, Pearson's come out and said in his interview, didn't he, that they had too many passengers. They were carrying too many people.
But it seems like I think I'll be amazed if many people outside of Watford fans could name their squad. And it seems like it's full of random foreign players. I mean, the one player who deserves better is Sarr. He is rapid and he's
I would say
great off the ball.
2 players deserve better: Sarr and Doucouré.
Doucouré is a weird one. He's just been talked about for years. I've never been impressed by Doucouré.
I like Doucouré. I like him.
Yeah. But I think Watford will be staying up, but by the skin of it, not because they're great, because the other sides are worse, I think.
Yeah, Watford strike me as a team that need large investment. They need a big owner to come in and.
It's not that attractive. It's just not that attractive to do it. I just can't see any of that them getting that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think I've always been kind of the West Brom mould that they'll kind of come up and go down, and similar to Norwich really as well. Actually, just kind of. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, we'll quickly touch on Leicester, Sheffield United, the Barry Hales derby.
Barry Hales,
Leicester,
hero.
Yeah, Fulham legend. Leicester getting back at it after what seemed like they would just drift away. I didn't think they'd get a result out of this match, but 2-0, bang, done.
Yeah, that last game of the season, man, it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive, and the chances of a potential playoff for the 4th position are pretty good because you need to have equal points, equal goals scored, and an equal head-to-head. So it could happen.
Yeah, what was the reverse fixture early in the season?
I think Leicester beat us 1-0, I think.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll be intrigued to see what happens. I'm not quite sure who I would want to get that final spot, to be honest with you.
Well, me, personally. You want me to get it?
But I mean, it's fair. Regardless of what happens, it's been a good season for Leicester, isn't it? They may get Champions League, they'll get Europa League. They got their biggest away win in Premier League history, 9 wins in a row, a club record. Vardy looks like he's going to get a golden boot. It's still a very good season. It's just unfortunately happened in very 2 halves. If they've had the highs of being second for a little bit, and now they've fading away. If it had been kind of ebbing around the 5th, 4th place, it would be much more acceptable. But it's when they have kind of like Jekyll and Hyde after the season, it becomes a lot more a lot less palatable because you're like, well, why can't we just play like we did in the first half? It's like, well, because you were just really on it, and like 9 wins in a row is not something that happens very often.
No, very true, very true. So, but yeah, good win for them. I'm glad to see Damari Gray score. I think he can.
Moving. He's got the final year of his contract. There's talk of him going to Spurs.
Well, he looks like he's had so much potential for so long that he needs to. He's sort of in like the Jesse Lingard sort of. Is he ever going to fulfill it, or is he just going to be this player that is scoring the odd goal?
The latter. I tell you, he's as frustrating as Harvey Barnes. Both wingers are just. Harvey Barnes just loves a shot straight at the keeper. Man, place your shots. Christ.
Yeah. Harvey Barnes is a stat. He looks like he's a stat filler. Like 100% shots on target, but he had 4 shots and they all went down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be what people. Harvey Barnes. I don't think he's ever going to be what people think he's going to be. He's all action. Looks. And he can take on a man, but he scored goal. I think he found his place in the Championship. He did really well with West Brom on loan there. I just think. I'll probably be proved wrong, but I just don't think he's going to be that. Like 10 goals, 10 assists, man, in the league, or even in the season. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, and what about Sheffield United? Is it got as good as it gets for them? Is it all a bit downhill now and next season, or do you think they'll learn and build?
That's a difficult one to predict for next season. That is really difficult.
I can just see them having massive second season syndrome.
Yeah, it seems like it's all geared up to that. That's my gut feeling as well. And I honestly can't think who. I mean, when signing Sander Berger, that was a kind of real left field transfer. And I'll be intrigued to see how their purchasing goes, because so many of those players have been with them for years or been through lower league with them. And Sander Berger is really the one who makes a difference. I mean, I've been compiling a list of all players in the Premier League this season, the minutes they've played for the current club, appearances for the current club, and their total appearances and total minutes. Lys Mousset has just played no games in his whole career. He's like, his average minutes per appearance is like 56 minutes. He's just a perennial sub.
Wow.
That man. He's like 25 and he's played like 100 games or something. He's just had nothing. But he's actually not a bad player.
Yeah, I signed him on FM when I was Maribor in Slovenia, and he actually lit up the Slovenian league. So
yeah, but it'd be intriguing. Yeah, it might be. It'd be intriguing to see where they go, because will the owners want to risk spending money side for everybody? But I don't think I think they'll be a very similar side to what they have now.
Yeah, I think just we should have one episode which is just all about your spreadsheets and analysis that you keep. So, because I'd love to see it. I don't know about everybody else, but I'd love to see that. So.
Yeah, I will be sharing it soon, because I'm currently going. I've only compiled the 10, 11 sides, but I was just intrigued to see I was looking for a correlation between experience and results. So, what I will eventually be using it to do is looking at match day teams and going, well, this side has, they know each other because they played with each other for a while, but they've got a lot of overall experience. Like, for example, Arsenal have got a lot of players with a lot of experience, but not much experience for Arsenal. They've signed experienced players, like they signed David Luiz, who is an experienced player, but not much experience at Arsenal because he's very new at Arsenal. So they've signed kind of the older players who've got more experience. And whereas Man City have got kind of been a pretty settled side for a while, Liverpool have been settled side, and Spurs have been a settled side for a while, so they've got a lot of experience within their own ranks. So that's where I've been doing that. And then obviously the goals element of it, do they have a lot of goals in their side? What people's goal scoring record with their club or overall, just to get a kind of feel for all the players in the league. So that's what I'll be compiling over the coming weeks.
Nice. I look forward to seeing it.
Have a look back when it's when the league's finished. I thought.
Yeah, we'll have a podcast episode called Josh's Analytics.
Yes.
And
maybe we'll start my career in analytics. So I'll leave accountancy, and then that'd be the dream job.
Job at Spurs as head data analyst.
Oh yeah, I'd probably start a bit lower, like director of
director of analysis. Yeah.
Yeah. Analyst executive. It'd probably be in. I'd love that job.
Yeah. Okay. So, but quick.
Right. Well,
very quickly before we move on, shout out to Chris Wood scoring an overhead kick like any other amateur footballer would score an overhead kick.
One of the worst overhead kicks I've seen.
Yeah. His back. When you were like, tee me up for an overhead kick in your garden, and you'd lie down and then move your foot.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a shocker. Dribbled in, absolutely pathetic, but he's a good player. He does the job for Burnley.
He does. He does.
Just quickly, then, for a couple of other games. Obviously, Southampton, Brighton this week. Danny Ings getting his 20th goal.
Yeah.
Will he get anywhere near that next season?
No.
Everton, Villa. Walcott breaking Villa hearts with a late equaliser.
Yeah, gutting.
Yeah, Walcott. Who thought he still played football? Who knew?
Well, that's if Bernard can't beat him in the team, then you're struggling.
Yeah, that's the thing. They fill their side with players of that ilk who kind of like Alex Iwobi. I mean, 40 odd million, wasn't it?
Yeah, 40 million. That's
Crikey.
Embarrassing. That
Gylfi Sigurdsson, 50 million.
Yeah,
I like him, but he's not. I mean, yeah, there's too many of those players in that side who kind of like are never going to be consistently fantastic in that side. And we were running out of time quickly, but I shouted to Arsenal yesterday beating Man City to get into the FA Cup final. That is well, Man City. I think Pep's lost more semi-finals in cup competitions than he's lost finals, which blows my mind a little bit. But yeah, well done to Arsenal. Aubameyang is key for Arsenal. Will Aubameyang be there next year?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Okay, moving on then, Josh.
Hit me, Dave.
I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey, there we go. Right, it's on the screen. Josh has sent me a wiki file, and wow. Well, if I see it, say it. 1999 to 2004, he has a youth career at Standard Liège in Belgium. In 2004-2008, he moves to Lille in France, where he makes his senior debut for Lille. 4 years, 76 appearances, 10 goals. 2008-2010, Saint Etienne, 53 appearances, 3 goals. That gets him a move to Greece to play for Olympiacos. 2010-2012, 52 appearances, 34 goals. Then he goes to Everton. 2012-2019, 151 appearances, 29 goals. But he has a loan back to Olympiacos during that spell, 2018, 13 appearances, 2 goals.
Yeah, the tail end of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then another loan at the last season for Everton, 2018 to 2019 at Fiorentina on loan, 27 appearances, 2 goals. And he's still currently playing at Royal Antwerp, back in Belgium, 16 appearances, 2 goals. Now, I would say I have no idea, the person-wise.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
He was top scorer in Greece in that season with 20 goals in 25 games.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have pictured him as a striker with the stats, other than that Olympiacos stint with 34 and 52. But is he a striker?
I would put him down in the bracket of Walcott and Bernard as a winger.
Okay. A Belgian winger. Oh, is it? No, he was Van der Meijden, whoever his name is, would be long retired.
Andy Van der Meijden. No, he had that stint at Inter Milan, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
In Everton, just Moyes, I think, actually. It was when they almost got Champions League football that year.
Yeah.
When they looked to Villarreal in the playoffs. Yeah, no, it's not him.
Is he Belgian?
He is Belgian. Do you want his international stats?
Yeah, what's his international stats?
60 appearances for Belgium, 10 goals.
Oh, my word, that's quite good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's is it Kevin Morales?
It's Kevin Morales.
Oh, I completely forgot he existed.
Do you know what? That's why he's a Wikifile.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember where he popped up. I was like, Kevin Morales. I remember. It seemed like his career at Everton just got cut off short for me. He was like la 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 off on loan. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I can remember him now. I can remember him signing for Fiorentina on loan, thinking, oh, this could make or break his career. And now he's at Royal Antwerp, so that's that answered.
So that answers that question.
Yeah.
As always, we like to read their personal life on Wikipedia. This is a good one. Morales' father was born in Spain.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, brilliant. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Probably could have been included elsewhere in the wiki files.
Just in the little intro bit. Born to a Spanish father.
Early life is father from Spain. Because he has his full name is Kevin Antonio Joel Gisela Morales y Castillo.
Okay, that's a big name.
It is, so he's actually Kevin Castillo.
Yeah.
Unless that why Castillo means something which I'm not aware of.
Castillo means youth or junior. Because you got Real Madrid Castilla is the Real Madrid youth team.
I thought it meant Castle personally, but I don't know.
Well, same difference, isn't it? Right, back to the quiz.
Back to the quiz where, Dave, you've not actually embarrassed yourself. I mean, it sounds like that's a common occurrence. It's not. But I challenged Dave to name the 18 Premier League clubs. I've excluded Spurs and Brighton because they don't have any unique identifier. This is by the name of a stand in the stadium. So Dave has done pretty well so far. He's pinpointed things like the Gallagher stand at Newcastle, the Family stand at Leicester, the Sir Alex Ferguson stand at Man United, the Vitality Steve Fletcher stand at Bournemouth. But he's yet to name the Itchin stand, the Colin Bell stand, the Jimmy McElroy stand, the John Street stand, and the White Horse Lane stand. And to remind you, Dave, the clubs you need to name are Man City, Southampton, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Sheffield United.
Okay, so I'm going to go Colin Bell for Man City.
Correct.
Yeah. Jimmy McElroy, I'm going to go Southampton.
No.
Oh.
Are you just guessing the final lot? Shall I just put you out of misery?
Yeah, put me out of my misery because I'm guessing the final lot.
Okay, we have Itchin stand is Southampton.
Oh, yeah, I was never going to get that.
Jimmy McElroy is Burnley. John Street is Sheffield United. And White Horse Lane stand is Crystal Palace.
Oh, okay. The White Horse Lane, that's a terrible name for a stand.
I mean, the worst name you've got there as a name of a stand has got to be Bournemouth, surely.
Well, or Norwich. Aviva
Norwich,
Community. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're sponsoring your stands, I don't know, doesn't sit.
Doesn't feel right. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Cool.
Well done, Dave. Pretty well there. And overall, unless you have any other business, that wraps up this week's podcast.
No, but I guess just to say under any other bit, I'll say no and then have any other business. We're going to try, I think, and do a Soccer Saturday-esque final day of the season, which is, if you're in for the watch-along of Spurs Man United, it got a lot of people said it was good fun and they were happy to, glad that we did it. But I think we had a bit of a delay on scores and the live feed and things like that because you were streaming it from Sky, I was streaming it from a Singapore network provider over here. So I think I'm happy to do a Soccer Saturday thing, but don't rely on us to get up-to-date scores. You'll probably get them 2 or 3 minutes later than they actually happen. But
yes.
I would be keen to do that.
It's good to see. Obviously, we've got Leicester, Man United final day. We've got some final day excitement that's going to be there because obviously you have a relegation battle, a top 4 battle, and just other stuff that's going to happen on the final day. So that's what we're aiming to do next Sunday. What time are the kickoffs, Dave? You must be
4 o'clock.
Up late.
I think they're 4 o'clock in the UK.
4 o'clock in the UK. Yes, you're right. 4 o'clock in the UK on Sunday, the 26th of July. So that is when we're planning to do our next live stream. But if you want to check out any previous ones, you can look out on YouTube and find all our back catalogue there. Obviously, it's been a recent thing being live streams. Previously, it was just audio as a podcast. It still is available just as audio on SoundCloud and Spotify. And also, you can interact with us on Twitter at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
Football, yeah. So give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe, interact with us. We'll interact back with you, and see out this season. And look forward to a bit of European football, and then a return of the Premier League again. It's all going to be very jam-packed over the next few months, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be cracking.
Excellent. So until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.